IFA, as I've been telling you, is the place to be, and we are thrilled to be here. It's all about those Consumer Electronics Unlimited, and in many ways, especially this year. We're going to tell you why. First of all, the Chief Operating Officer for Messe Berlin, the organization that runs IFA. I think it's kind of safe to say they put it together. Their incredible staff that makes this show really happen. The Chief Operating Officer is Dr. Christian Göke. Dr. Göke, welcome back into tomorrow, and how are you?
Oh, thanks for having me here with you, Dave, and what an honor to be the first one in your show.
The very first guest, because we thought it's always great when you can help us set the stage, if you will, kind of kick off the next 2 weeks worth of solid broadcast.
I'll do my
here.
utmost.
Yes.
Though you are facing a pretty dense itinerary.
Well, yes. But see, this is why it's nice to start a 6-week road trip with Berlin.
Yes, it is.
So
the place to be.
Yes. Not only is it a great
place
city.
to be, not only in Europe.
Yeah, that's right.
Old Europe.
Old Europe. It's all about the kind of the capital of Europe. And I think the rest of Europe understands that. Huh?
Let's say that the European youth is very tempted and attracted to come to Berlin.
Yeah. And why
that's
is that,
always a good sign.
Yeah, that's true.
Maybe the nightlife might be a decisive factor for this statement.
Is that why my staff comes in so tired each morning here?
I'm not that familiar with your kind of staff, but if they are under 30, they definitely will find their way around here in Berlin.
Yes, they will. And it is, of course, a city of a lot of excitement anyway, a lot of great culture. The museums here are just unbelievable. And, Chris, our technical director, is a big-time history buff. Can't get enough of the history here in Berlin especially. But as you mentioned, the nightlife, the shopping, the food. I mean, my gosh, we haven't eaten a bad meal here in the 6 years we've been coming to do IFA.
Well, I was going to say it's not that difficult to satisfy American taste food, but obviously I'm not doing that.
You were going to say it, but you didn't.
No, I didn't. So just cancel it. No, it is a great city, and from my point of view, it's the emotion, the energy that's in the air, comparable to Los Angeles. So that's my best comparison. Berlin and Los Angeles. There isn't the sea here, but you see the people are constantly driving. They are constantly thriving. They are constantly trying to come up with new business ideas, and they are in a good mood. And that's the difference.
And it's a great segue into IFA and what you guys are doing at Messe Berlin, the organization that puts it together, because that's exactly what it's all about here, I think, at this great show.
We put it together, and we are facing the economic risk, let's say. We are the entrepreneurs behind. And so we're a little tense how it's going to work out, but it's promising.
This is certainly a huge event, though. I mean, you've outdone yourselves again. I don't think there's any room in any of the halls, and this is a huge fairground.
Major leapfrog. Yeah.
Yes, and of course, a great number of exhibitors, from countries that have never even been exhibiting here before.
Well, we as I said, leapfrog, 33 exhibiting countries last year, 63 this year. Wow. So that is a major increase. And no offense to our American friends, but this is, with all due respect, by now the largest consumer electronics show worldwide, especially with regard to the integration of the white goods industry, the household appliance industry. And we are very much looking forward to the next 6 days that will show great results.
Now, you brought up a good point, the white goods industry, and that is a major new addition to IFA. You haven't done that before. There's a lot of technology, since that's what we cover, in home appliances these days. I mean, our toaster isn't quite texting us yet, but maybe that's coming. I mean, there are things that are going to...
It's always a matter of usefulness. I mean, technically, no problem. Obviously, you can command your toaster via your mobile phone, but that's not the punchline. I mean, the point is, it's all about lifestyle, and that's why you see that different companies and manufacturers are nowadays restructuring their sales organization. They are not any longer making a difference between the white goods and the brown goods industry, but they are calling it consumer lifestyle products. And that's what it's all about. And that's why we are basically here the #1 platform for consumer lifestyle products. And this concept came a long way. I mean, in 2001, after the burst of the internet bubble, IFA was facing difficult times. The entire CE industry, I'm not saying was on the in downfall, but if you compared it to the momentum of the IT industry, definitely CE wasn't on the winning track. And that changed over the last 3, 4, 5 years. CE recovered greatly. CE concentrated on their major strength, basically being their strong, extremely strong brands. And we helped the industry to gain self-confidence, and at the same time we gained confidence on our own.
Sure.
And now IFA is more than back on track. We hit record numbers in 2007, and this year again we will increase those record figures largely, let's say, and so a happy customer in front of you.
Yes, indeed. And it seems very appropriate to add the appliance industry to the rest, as you mentioned, because it's all about consumer lifestyle.
Right.
And they do merge well, I think, with consumer electronics in general, especially because of technology in some of these
Dave,
appliances.
on the one hand, yes, technology is basically the same. So in these very refined household appliances, the technology behind is absolutely comparable to the technology behind the TV's flat screen.
Sure.
But it's even more important to see that the consumer itself doesn't draw any longer this kind of distinction in his everyday life. So you see that the kitchen isn't any longer separated by force from the living room. And when he's shopping, he isn't shopping white goods and then the next day he's shopping brown goods. No, he isn't. He's doing his shopping tour in the same place where he can already now buy exactly those two kind of products. And therefore we are just covering and mirroring what's happening in the market.
And of course, always a lot of breaking news here at every IFA that we attend. What are the kinds of things that you are excited about that these next 6 days are going to bring that, of course, we'll be reporting on for our audience?
You mean apart from this interview here?
Of course.
Okay,
this is the big news.
Yeah. Okay, well.
Good point.
Let me think. Let me think. No, I mean, last year we had an independent survey indicating that there were more than 10,000 new products on view for our consumers here at IFA. So tons of new products. I'm always fascinated by the size of the new flat screens. It's amazing. I mean, this year Panasonic is going to put on display a flat screen TV 4 by 2 meters. You have to do the conversion, the conversion in your inches stuff.
Yeah.
We will see the flattest TV screen, flatter than 1 centimeter. Now that is, I don't know, in inches. Again, do it for me, the conversion.
I'll have to get into my computer
we
first.
will see the tiniest little subwoofer here. So we will see the most expensive hi-fi.
A lot of
call
things.
it a hi-fi apparatus.
Yes. All about audio entertainment
so,
too.
I mean, plus the show elements. I mean, great concerts. All major TV stations back on our premises. A great gala tonight. A great opening ceremony with our chancellor. So this is, in all aspects, it's a major event, and I don't see any other event so far worldwide with this kind of media coverage with regard to trade shows, obviously.
Well, that's true.
Well, the Olympic Games, maybe they are surpassing us, but but then again, I guess in Beijing there were 22,000 journalists accredited.
Yeah.
We are speaking about 7,000 here.
There
so
you go. It's an interesting comparison.
Yep.
Well, we're certainly going to be informing our audience about all the cool things here at IFA over this week's show, the next 3 hours, making way now to talk to many of your exhibitors. Later on the show today, we'll be attending Showstoppers at IFA, the first of hopefully an annual press event.
Put them on YouTube. Showstoppers will be greatly on YouTube.
They'll not only be on YouTube, they'll be on about 20 some odd other video sharing sites as well, as will you.
Well, I have to say that that was a major problem last year.
Why is that? Why was that a problem?
Because I didn't have the foggiest idea that we were recorded here and that we were put on YouTube. And can you imagine the consequences being on YouTube?
Well, that's a good thing.
Not a good idea.
Well, why not?
Not talking to you. This is far too personal. We spoke about education last year. We spoke about universities. We spoke about,
That's a good
no,
thing.
No,
oh,
no,
so
way.
we stirred up a little controversy, is what you're saying.
Absolutely.
But look what we did, though, to help spread the word about IFA.
Okay. As long as we're not talking about Miss IFA, we are all set.
Well, she'll be coming up in our highlight video later.
Good.
Okay.
Good.
Dr. Christian Göke is the Chief Operating Officer for Messe Berlin. Thank you for kicking off this year's broadcast again.
Dave.
It's
Thanks
a pleasure, and we're delighted to be able to speak to as many of your exhibitors as we can cram into the next 2 weeks' worth of shows. Back with more from Berlin, I'm Dave Graveline. This is Into Tomorrow on the Advanced Media Network.